Brand new 100.9 FM. Bread, you watching a kunyao. Inshiraka neat a tearful nina. Ozioma ADAKABRI or Ribo, baby. The canoa band. Yes, or quite caress you. And a sure carrot quine. Penny in wire. Yabo quite but to a sure. Ozioma ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO. Watching a kunya, baby.
Matrasi yo na ye free neat 100.9 FM so ene se ye ba manaso na ene eye adwada na openima bosome na ye womi ne da etoso atuo no afi empino aduo no eba ko na mam se abo eye donko ama apa ho meti se aduo no apemu ama meti mi ensample ababeguso na mementi dwumadi na yede brem na free net 100.9 FM dwumadi mi amedi ho chia me from ADAKABRI Mamudu osioma na me offer say eye major o say agiman ene se senior co character wo bo mi chidom ene do bo character wo do yen sakan obekenkan e de amayen no chi ne pass dam fama eye kwadwo damiado na ono ena production nyina sini na so Abrafrima bankro ena nana ya asafo wane nso so ena omohwe social media handles awodo na omama yede abaso yemfa sida so emfama engineering group no achu agbo ena eye engineering group achu agbo ena worker nkotia ko na Nigeria nana aboaje adasankroma nso yesane mrane se simple na fe ye de aseda nso so e de ama eye facilities for big solo ena dada ena yawo na fe so no mapuna na DJ Bosco Godfrey dodo na friend Ubrana na fe mails nso yesane mrane se yeten ensem no edoso wetimi so hours apoyen on ensem aye brobu so e was 050 6000909. Repeat. Mike no say makra. Okay, go again.
050.
Great.
6000909.
Right. Na and someone of the adults. Na the wokrata wodo na yansaka no. Na ubetim kakra edi amayin ansana first interview no aba
edi atoaso yo wofa medasi amakwa abanso na ene de obonkrata munsam no dodo na no ekwakoye MPP wo annual delegates conference ekoso enrada ntufo okuni na 1950 paper no na nado dan kwakufu ado de enim ha na de awaka ne se eye MPP 2024 polls no a decisive step key winning 2024 polls no no president and delegates in the kasa enrada no 2024 polls no wama delegates and MPP for atiase say enye say da ho mpan say wo mo sori ya no mba be wini na bi enhyehyɛ kakra ho obi kan winning ne de wo ho obenya na ono no wa hand over e ama MPP president na mum enhyehyɛ kakra wo ho nkrofo yanom no we no promotion na no mo ye no ene se ete se wo mo kabom wo mo gen kabom no mo timi boade no ma gu fom no mo hu se yes ampa party no wo mo adaw mu no ma digie e de akere Ghana fo na no e de betimi ama mo wini eye 2024 elections no nti
okasa ye akase yeah, competition
say level playing field.
I was say a bois at the Enkabo party. Now competition I would ba a MP4 leader. It me koko free MP4 say Momra Mesanlai. And for one candidate by virtue of the position as a vice president. Now Buana mana abuse incumbency. It would be the HR no about can say and your friend is saying
man of level playing field.
Or no, Asante Ajinatum. but others no enya that opportunity enya bisa na ve yesa kasa o mekasa na fe nipa bia so ye na wo national youth organizer no wagina waka say we know the love is deep when one him say the love is deep who gina hono say we MC we are national officer now cause we know the love is deep we are no abeka unity ben into am hwe no ma bi ye say na MP for na koko jeje on na mo de say na president na waka say yes there will be competition the competition now it should be helpful so no
na yintimi nya
no na wo chichiri obi nsa de abonachi na wo wie a na wo de wakosa lie ade obi anim na de aba abeka say ono na yaje na tomu asante wakore from Tamale to Yendi and Mr. T also free akoto every mabia ne billboards from Tamale to Yendi every mabia Mr. T
agri minister we simu ye
ono nkwa na ne bill mungo tutu so Yendi was mungo tutu
Papa President Kasai ye
abuse of incumbency enya de papa Mutimi abuse incumbency we say open unity
ese o mutimi na level playing field obia wuzo ginam kama na just bibia ko ye na no unsa wo fa Ghanaian Times na ono so baby o the force discipline will win 2024 elections. It's just say 2024 elections no wu nipa no wadwen say da ho saa keka na ho saa keke president no ti adwa so no won say we ni de bebo na enhyehyɛ kakra
akwa congress tru ka we say we say congress no o man ka amen no so de be fi
o man ga amen
dabi
we Ashanti regional chief imam bebo mpa
yanka amen ni so de be fi
za
ai ya kwa kudidi aba ye kudidi aba abe yeto
menim so ka amen na wo mante an say nkremofo mpa no wante waso a amen no anhwa na amao because obom pa na enti no so na Ghanaian Times so afa say discipline and na ebegwi ni MPP party 2024
kwa kasa na wo campaign for wo MPP mo wo campaign for wo bo Aliu Muhammadin ansa na ko bo je Ekofo din bana chira wo sa bana chira history ni man say wo ye campaign for party no mo wo di ka bo Aliu Muhammadin ansa na akobo je Ekofo din na je wunim party na wo mu nana
okay
wane ko fa
na say eno na protocol no follow ana
na what you say mo
ana bia na o chance e free form abasoro
okay can we nyina sa
e bia na o di free form ko soro
okay
okay enti
Aliu Muhammad wane the vice president
je Ekofo na the vice president yeah
enti ye den na wa acknowledge Aliu Muhammad ansa na ba acknowledge je Ekofo so Aliu Muhammad no wono kwa je Ekofo ansoma ne se onkofa na Zikiri Muhammad mra amen when running mate
okay
and na Zikiri Muhammad so onye and je Ekofo se sa de wo Aliu ankasa ye and na de wo ba je party na be ka se Aliu Muhammad ono no ba ahead of je Ekofo papa ko se wate ko se
asemo esi
go fa CPP need to be party chairman nye di be si ene guzuti
Ghanaian Times no edem no man panyin wabomodin akasa MPP o man no delegates
very well
man panyin very well no man panyin so kasa no ho ne de anko kasa te say de original UN platform bi so na ni bre o hwe kasa no hwe o man panyin dimina na o hwe said ne gesture said they are not toto ne so de ne sa no into tum say no man panyin o man panyin ni abre
o hwe dimina no say de wo kan ya untimi accuse no se bia or you're unfair. So no, because also be jina ono. We jina for some time. No can be bia. Afu jina wa as what jina do beka. Or jina beka no can say mum sa. So na he spoke well. He wasn't manifestly political. No, he wasn't manifestly political. Okay, say yina sad discipline and the competition, but then the competition should be helpful. No? They should keep happening on that. Keep happening on that. Keep happening on that. Keep happening on that. Na nipa bia ye pe na nkanya sa obi se obi per running mate into a check constituency be 5,000. 5,000 I say anything.
Okocha constituency
be 5,000. Also when you aspirant. Who per running mate and now Okocha constituency be 5,000.
Not just no running mate no kwan
running mate no kwan share no. Na mo tete to nipa so no promise mo. And I'm to am some butu mo no. E de agua bonti di wura. Asisi. Ken kan mami die.
Enti Ghanaian Times na afa wa hapa just no so edam yopo. Na ena wo fa insight na asamfoforo de animu ene say ne Omicron eye COVID-19 a odanda no de etoso nan a wadane ne ho no. Say Omicron variant, and in fact, what I say spreading ten to India. Yes, pass bia ya hwe na Omicron dey say ono dey ne su dwa dey yes o ba ya na just on musa ente say ya no na abakọ no nti eno so ya dey a yes Ghana Health Service o mani abere pa just say how mo say ne Omicron no obi nya bia nche na just say obi nso anya bi na wo fa nim ha so dey ne ye no ma ye ba wi nkokọ no dey poultry farmers no almost say cost of feeding nuane a wo mo todema ma wo nkokọ no ne dey ne boa ye den papa nti afi we dey ye no ma ye ba wi nkokọ no ye mi abosom ye hu se nkokọ no ye beto no dey ye beto na bo den no so we insights enim ha no so ababetodwa na wo fa the daily searchlight na o say MPP conference ase dey si ye nie o say ye bebreki 8 na ye bebreki no with the superior record. No, Dr. Bawumia, and I say the vice president. Dr. Bawumia say breaking the 8, a record there, a be mada, and ebema MPP. It's me breaking 8, a year ahead of 2024 elections. Into so Eda Hase, but is daily searchlight and him. Abobo kama. Na wo fa a year the daily statesman and also you say nay no a daily statesman then banner headline ankasa no ye dey no mukakraka no eye nanado dan kwakufuado na no di semwa or the two MPP fu anim annual delegate conference na course okumase no na ono no e fa ne say nanado a caution MPP our culture almost internal elections ne dey enti say eno no be akwansidie ma MPP ekwo bekwa akolusu 2024 na say etimi koyie na ma MPP daache no etimi brighter edema new patriotic party itiano so bo anim ho kama na eno na ase ho no so no Dr. Bawumia asem so a waka say records ne de wo de toto ho a omone ne titiri wa NDC debi one more my baby ya iti na eno so ne de ode ba no na the Ghanaian Observer or no so far MPP conference and I don't believe. No see a Kufuado warning against unhealthy competition. Say they will be na wama pedi edi akonyane beto akonyane so to ana akonyane dam panya aha ye den ya amanfo beka akopere na no na the Ghanaian Observer
ne fa ebrepemu no
yeah
ye bebo pe na sa abre no enyanuri
abebe
enyanuri na omonye discipline na omo emanenye level playing
sa na we no so wo mo call ye no say wo mo de ye directives ne ba ye no e ma amanfo nhyehyehye no amanom ne ade ne de mu da ho kama na de ba mi say bi amanfo a
mu ne da ho no what did you say nanka bobo wanka e de nanka abehwere
eno ne de we say ye mu bi ne beside but
na hwe mo ho enti unhunu say mo ye bibia ko kumase so nti o yes and de na wa achieve ye
eno na mi nim ade a intel la na o ma picking ti a e mo the directives ne ba because aye be kon ye mu bi ne ebisa say na we no obi billboard this is swame a ede bibi bebe obi billboard this yeju so ofin so ba na billboards bi bo hono na no de mi hu ade bi a ede ntokwa beba ana be ye de e bia make grounds one mom no na wo mo ka say bia me obi a hye bia na grounds one obi akon bibi na akwakọ ebibi e wona obi onte ne ho ase na akwakọ fa ase bia ba but say na manfo no ma billboards is krom ne ade ne de Well, and then I mean, be a woman and a woman, H. the Muyi, may who say, no, not a ban.
Oko Prade Junction, Odeba Odium. Na first one, Abraham Jumodum, Dinchra Jumodum.
Okay.
Or Central Regional Chairman hopeful. Nidini Siho, Upiansum. And the next children, a Jacudi Siho, and Yakoti a Jacodiano. It's not Mobian Fencino, no presidential candidates.
Candidates in a pan.
A Jacodiano, a dear this guy, Aquatino, but Jumodum, our pet chairman. In the Central Region, Ubian Fanazanka. Into the president, the Kayano, Omunya disciplined. So now, we local champion. Now, what you will say, me, power can trick you. Jacob for the council, power can trick you. And then in generous in peace. And also when you're fair. Now, obey the DNT, any you will be at the idea. Jumo to Diano is see a Prada Junction, is see a train quan anymore. Now, a Jaco the other day, your cotitino.
Nigga, come who been to man, penny two for no. A pedi and the Bassanedia, a year futu. There's a party, there's a woman. Don't be not the level playing field. I wonder my panica because not MPP templates in so whole templates. The year can ABS pen when yes, I've seen a baba BBC. It's a template in war, and I say, or men who template no ye said yet, it was also at the buyer. Now I'm far reforms be and may bit me about my competition. I be over there. Let us say, and also I call for BB. But now the new publisher and also the vice president, Dr. Baumia Obaha. Now, yes, say a year Baumia Charms MPP conference. I just said, no, sir, and a new publisher, Wafano. Nina, Dr. Mahamadou Baumia, or call a year conference, and I say, no, could do one a month for you, Bunny, dear, a month for a 2 Muhungu Parky, so, or more cries, one more man in Casampo. I just say, and Yasam Ketua, and not and a publisher, so Wafa. Audio Munsem or the Ababeto a yen and Nimhase. Na the new crusading guide, and also a your man penny, and I know this more the 2 Jano. And now what can say, Obi or best succeeding no, or no obey the next president ahead of the 2024 elections. It's a nose where I do my penny, and I know this more kind or the Ababeto and also at the Hase. Come on. Na Codons of Aboku. Also boycott expensive, insensitive OMCs. It's another good about Boku. And all day a year, and I need this media to Johnny and fan, a from one sense. Says I expensive, insensitive OMCs now. Omo the Oma say, one more a former cartel, I just say, one more edit from one idea. No, one would you try a minute. And like I say, I am boycott to them. Who cannot the board in your deregulation? Quanacoto baby and a warful. Let us say Bibi and Koye, and also at the Haseya, and so editing to my the new crusading guide at Nim. Now, ye fa a year daily posting, so the daily post to say, and a 1 MPP conference, a course, a year you Ramahama, one some qua, and Omgokao, or no more tiny baby on year conference, be honest, and one some aid in Treha, and also a year daily post, and also about the Ababeto and Nim ha. I just say. You went to a fan, ocean cratane dear, and any money dear. Dodwana and a cocoa, a year MPP one more National Delegates Conference, and a course name, Semony Bia, a P by no, and about Ababeto. So far, ocean cratane dear, they buy an every and on a Monday. They buy no.
Grabbing so no.
Grabbing. Oh, woman, a new office.
A loot office offer.
Oh, Aluta, and here's the chairman Aluta. And now say you DC in the Babantin and away there. Or say, I know consensus. Oh, say so no, or the bar. Wow, baby, we don't cry. And say, instead, so yes, I know. That DC for no man to a man, Aluta, yeah. The president assembly members, assembly members, our mantra, the president to coach up and no flare warm. The Munina Mumra. Mama can't tell me. I didn't let me do Biaba. Now on 2 occasions, one to a man. No, go no, we didn't go. In the same can no more, yes, say, Oko threatening woman, and you're banner between the IO. So would be banned almost to my almost I didn't bet me the IO.
Tontinka oko be office no. She si kwan as president.
Oh yeah. Obetuma to that for assembly members. Hey, president Fro. I can no kwa na kwa kwa.
Onokra ne hu entina president Afro no. Na je wakura asem no. So ukura asem no. President Afro wo adan. E ba asem nko a. Na medi obi abampre no. Na nipa wadi chairman wa. Or a localized person. Na musi debi. Mumfa man, mun kan chire me.
Yeah.
A dear pani wom.
A dear wom.
Rather than say, wom from mun kan renjire wom. And atu na warning wom. Now, as president, dear pana bit me ayo. And a dear bit me ayo. A dear pana, it will yes, rather no. You encourage them so they bar. On be say true. No, as you nebia. Nebia no. You go nanka me you say omudia aluta vice ne nebeba. Donka omudia aluta vice neba. But so koko threatening wo mo a. Ubenya so bra chief obi wo mo a. E dey pa na betimi dey aye. Don't do baby on mo ya na president mu na wo bia. So ne kura. Mumra.
Aka president no makasa.
Na no makasa.
Na your opportunity.
Oh, me kura president frame ne makasa. Na we dey okoya. Na ehununa na go omo say untimi nyom hutie omo say untimi nyom hutie
say president anim no mo nka ka omo tiri
me anko na after Kobina Kennedy
yes
yeni ni nkomo kakra
okay
ahead of the congress no ochro a piece bia na o kan no ma mensa bia na hia no after Kobina Kennedy MD good afternoon
ADAKABRI.
Now, what to say, Paul?
We say, free and assuming
you will be a Joso. MPP for Congress, a year conference, and now almost immediately. Now, ahead of the conference, no, who can say proposals for amendment? Na a mummy and Sabi, and na a here. There, you beat me a share. Nanka former MMDCs, former MPs, any MMDCs, or beat me at Tuabanibi. Ombenya voting rights na fe nso no enka eye Nasara the coordinator say ye deco police stations and also so na enya de woni je ho na fe so early congress say okwa elect eye flag bearer 2 clear years ahead of eye congress no elections no now identity of the 98 proposals no 3-way pay and uchusu ya happy on it.
You can't deal with everything. And now I wanted to focus on the most important one. In my view, respectfully, this is the those pan and Muyan.
So at the end of it all, no, proposals, no. In fact, a nipa can say, "Ya whittle it down." I'm a number 38, but from the comments of General Secretary John Bodo, Ubia and whittle it down. They still had over 90-something proposals. But what they have done at the Congress, at the conference, and they say, "One more at me at defer for the consideration, further consideration by the Constitutional Review Committee." Afenyo marking committee na omu wie bibia na omu yimu de eye na omu de be national council na national council father say ehun hia omu be refer for next congress to ratify it. What do you make of it?
Well, in effect, we circling around. The party has very clear rules about how to make constitutional amendments. And the one would presume that before they went there, those proposals will have met all the criteria or guidelines. You circulate it ahead of Congress. Everybody who can have input will know about it. When you get there, then people vote up and down. And one might say that the fact that they had to come back and refer it back to committees, they might suggest that maybe either there was not enough time or not enough support for dealing with them. But constitutions are like legal precedents. The lawyers will talk about stare decisis, which means that we should respect precedent. When it's not broken, let's not try to fix it. A lot of all those proposals, they do not go fundamentally to the core of things. I think that electing a flag bearer 1 year to the conference or to the election is a good idea because the issue now, this government, and I'm not saying that it is anybody's fault, but any Ghana food in command, it was soon there, look at the MPP fund mandate na yɛkɔ kwaa yɛgye in 2020. Better than knowing here bill. It seems like we are more interested in the next mandate than the current mandate. First, that is unfortunate because, in my view, His Excellency Nanado Damkwa Akufo-Addo, Onyenabai, in my view, they have 2 solid years to build a record on which our next flag bearer can run. The year you beat that earlier, in effect, we'll be creating in the minds of the party and the country 2 presidents, the coming one and the going one. On the ground, and actually, as the time gets nearer and nearer, even though the going one has more legal authority, the coming one gets more moral and informal authority. And his sway over the party and the country becomes even bigger than the president. And in my view, it is injurious to our president and to our party and to the work we did to focus on the next mandate. When we have a mandate we can deliver right now, I didn't say the next mandate. Problems are there, so we can solve them right now. Protect the public purse. We don't need the 2024 mandate to protect the public purse. Indeed, if we protect the public purse now, the people might be so happy that they will ask us to continue protecting it after 2024. If we secure free SHS, the public will be so happy they will ask us to continue securing it. If we secure NHIS, they will say the same thing. If we don't do those things, then they will think that maybe they need to try someone else. Respectfully to the president. But in our we talked about free SHS and all these things, one district, one factory. I'm saying the air power. Somebody should give me an example of one thing the NDC has been talking about. Very valid point, but unfortunately, Mr. President, nobody will vote for us in 2024 because of the failures of the NDC. They will vote for us or against us based on your failures and your successes. And to me, NDC, let us deliver. We have demanded. ADAKABRI, with apologies to your listeners. But today, the Sia Achis na wabatinam. If you are not to pan, if you never be sent there, and I do the Ben Abbas. She is not interested. She wants you to deliver right there. Now say deliver we are now Obama the next day to Obama. It's the only election of flag bearer. And now, young running mate in In my view, the presidential candidate is not a free agent. He's the agent of the party. Running mate. Based on our experiences, let us not go into details. The running mate will be nominated by the presidential candidate with the advice and consent of the National Council and endorsed by Congress.
In this instance, you have been told that you a year flag bearer 2 clear years as opposed to the constitutional requirement of not more than 11 months to the general election. What must have accounted for a proposal for early election of the flag bearer 2 clear calendar years before general election?
But in the press reporting, in the media report of that proposal, according to the party, I don't know who exactly they were quoting, the 1 year is not enough to heal wounds with other aspirants going forward. Now, let me respectfully, if 1 year is not enough for a party leader to heal wounds in his own party, then I am very doubtful of the ability of that same party leader to reach out beyond the party and build the national coalitions that he needs to govern effectively. And so respectfully, those who provide that explanation, they should come again. Either they misread the situation or they are not telling us what their true motives are.
In 2010, there were 47 amendments to the constitution of the MPP. Conference held at the Trade Fair site here in Accra. Of the 47, 46 were carried. Only one was not carried. Then in 2017, of the amendments to the constitution, it was also deferred. And then subsequently, at an extraordinary delegates conference, the party agreed to the proposals. So one would say this time around, deferring to the Council of National Council is not anything different from what had been done in 2017. What do you make of it?
Well, it's an interesting point. So if we go to the next Congress, unless we call an extraordinary Congress, then at the next Congress, which will be 2 years to the election, we agree that we want to elect the flag bearer 2 years to the election. What will be the practical effect when we are already 2 years to the election and we just adopted that? And see, I don't see the value in it, but more to the point, actually, in my view, now that you prompted me, the most important proposal was the one to enlarge the voting, giving the former MPs the voting. I am actually a little surprised that that is what we are trying to do. Because ADAKABRI, you follow the party quite a bit. And then we used to have a very narrow electoral college. The 2007 Congress, only a little over about 2,500 people voted. After that, there were agitations to enlarge the electoral college. And a lot of people don't know a lot about the history of it. I remember that at the National Council meeting, after some of us younger people pushed for a full electoral college in which all party members in good standing will vote. The effort at some point, even though me and people like Abnega initiated it, Alan came to support that. And it seemed as if there was almost a generational divide. At that time, there was a break, and the president and Alan conferred. The president then said, at that time he was a candidate, the meeting that, in principle, he agrees that we should go to a full electoral college where all party members in good standing will vote. But we must make it slowly. We must take intermediate steps. And so we should enlarge the electoral college with the understanding that our goal will be to move to voting by all members in good standing as soon as possible. So he and Alan were standing on the same platform in support of that. And I think that the time has come to deliver on that promise. Instead of talking about, oh, former MPs won't vote, former DCs won't vote, radio hosts won't vote, former ministers won't vote, former Nasara coordinators, whatever. No, Tiano. Let's cut to the chase. Let's let all party members who are in good standing vote. And like I said, the NDC now has a bigger electoral college than we do. They are already there. Not only that, just in the last month, Nigeria's Congress or legislature has passed the law mandating all political parties to move to direct elections by all party members in their primaries. Even though President Buhari is against it, they are poised to override his veto.
Enti yensho we support the proposal say MPP ebenya independent academics na omo atimi atro the history of the tradition such that obi entimi in skill no to need advantage to the extent to say we have a vice president who is naming party stalwarts and chose to name Vice President late Aliu Mahama ahead of the then President John Kufuor, as if say Aliu Mahama stood in the stead of John Kufuor.
Well, I think that would be a good thing. At the end of the day, regardless of who writes the history must be truthful. Now, in fairness, you just mentioned the problem we have. Sometimes academics miswrite history. That, for example, you as for a lot of us, the history has told us that Rosa Parks was the first person who refused to get up to give up her seat in the bus. It turns out that a number of people did it before her. And the history must always bear the truth. Now, respectfully, Tibia, Vice President Nankasa, Oka history, he did a lot of it. Other people told him because he didn't see those things firsthand. Actually, there are people who can tell our history firsthand. Just last week, the Kousu of Ashanti region showed me a draft of the history of the Dankwa Buzia Club, which he helped organize, which later turned into the MPP, or the Dankwa Buzia Tradition Party. For example, Victor was involved. If you look at the Samoa brothers, they were involved. Damboche was, McMahon was, and Alan Martin was. So academics can talk to these people, as well as, of course, people who, by the grace of God, are still with us, like His Excellency John Ajikun, even current President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Because I wish
like Kwame
Obiti say,
people like Kwame Pieni,
Obiti say,
still with us.
Obiti say,
Talata, Sobayere. People can go to them, so we get an accurate history of our tradition. And we should not be afraid of telling the truth. If somebody wasn't there, it is okay. He wasn't there. Because sometimes Paul Amantem, if somebody just came and has made a significant contribution, we can tell the truth that yes, at the beginning, but all by why as the and we can also acknowledge the fact that, in the history, sometimes we try to change people's role when those things are not true. We know what people like Dumbo did. We know what people like Tolona did. Let us bear true witness to that. And when we go to our history and we are talking about other people, we should not rewrite the history to fit our current demand. History is not spent. It is history. So let us be honest.
Because I was share Obiti say EO Obicha Belamte, a Jake Papa. They will call the history of a UP tradition. papa yi bra or breye eventually obi wu ya any other na ese the performance or the activities of you picture bilamte is lost as will be an monitoring so and so no senka said usika ye no academics any year party stores kasa and then put up a very objective independent truthful history of the traditional. Perhaps it will inure to the benefit of the tradition.
I do, but ADAKABRI, those who are complaining, to stop complaining and write. In actual fact, I have had conversations with a lot of party stars, and I've heard versions of this complaint. I believe that we needed to reflect on the 2008 campaign. I wrote. I think that the tradition of writing will benefit us. And ADAKABRI, between the two of us, I urge Pauli to write. I urge Victor to write. And last month when I was in Ghana, I urged Kudum Piani to write because they have first-hand accounts of things that happened that we can all in future or even our children can look back on and say that, oh, the Dankwa tradition, this is what happened. And even in Ghana, moving into governance, this is what happened. I actually think that as we sit here now, our country needs a full-length, balanced biography of somebody like Buzia or even someone like Rollins, because their successes and failures, what they did right and their mistakes, they would all inform decisions by future leaders. So an accurate account of our history is very important.
Yeah. Ansana Obekono, Doc, in all this, President no, Nanado Dankwa Kufuado, we can say he spoke maturely as a statesman when he admonished party faithfuls. Say, Yema competition, Emra. The competition no ebeba de so it should be helpful and your competition ebeba be say ade name competition at the unity beba against the background of vice president eba podium so na some Ashanti MPs edin name herade no into the podium now also or by virtue of the position as the vice president na ehon ye be can say he is loved by the people of Ashanti and MPs no edinanim. How do you juxtapose this act of some MPs with the mature comments of the President of the Republic?
It is unfortunate that some MPs will do that, but I think this contest, we should be very careful about how we are overtly giving it ethnic and religious overtones. It is very dangerous. The vice president over podium, not say random MPs want to follow him or lead him. I would have been happier if the MPs' diversity reflected the party. If some from the north, some from Ashanti, some from Bono, some from Volta, then it shows that this is a united party. We are emphasizing ethnic/religious differences too much. And respectfully, you didn't bring up the religious angle, but let me bring it up there. There are people I have known for about 30 years who are Muslim. I have never discussed religion with them until this year. Because all of a sudden, in the context of this contest, religion has come to the fore in a way that is very unnerving. We need to be very, very careful that these things we are doing, we don't end up inflicting damage on our body politic or our party innocently, even if that is the way. The president's comments were good, but I hope that President Nankasa, his actions will match his comment.
Mhm.
Because action speaks louder than words. The back there, let us make this contest fair. Let us make it balanced. Let us make it elevated. Now, your actions show that you are not fair, balanced, and fatherly. Then they undermine your comment.
Na ɛsɛ na apathy kakra ɛsoso ɛwɔ ɛyɛ party delegates mu sɛ high profile personalities ɛkasa koraa na once the delegates were engaged in chit chatting, not focusing on what was on the podium. What must have accounted for such apathy?
Low morale, because members of the party, or particularly delegates, at their own level, they are politicians. They know what happened in 2020. They know that it was a referendum on our first term, and we lost parliament, and the president lost support. And see, I think that we have been served better by an honest, unvarnished reflection on why the president, who expected his majority to increase, barely squeaked by, and why Parliament was almost a draw when the president had come in with a majority. An honest discussion of the errors of the first term, a reflection on how we could do better, and a vigorous plan about how the next 2 years will make the party record or the government's record so attractive that the flag bearer will have very little to fight for and he will coast to victory. We have excited the delegates. The delegates are not children. So when you are not telling them what is on their minds or what they think is important, then there will be no enthusiasm.
Finally, just before you go, Dr. ADAKABRI Kennedy, abuse of incumbency. See about Joe comments kakra on abuse of incumbency to the extent that the vice president is riding on it and then is able to dole out 5,000 cedis to every single constituency. Energy minister is able to dole out 5,000 cedis to every single constituency. Alan Chamatin is able to dole out 2,000 cedis to every single constituency. And then the party itself, John Bodu, promises to give them 85,000 per constituency. So, would you say somebody is abusing incumbency?
Yes, we are abusing incumbency, but the larger point is that we are monetizing our politics in a way that is dangerous to its stability. Whenever campaigns get long or people spread these monies around, when we cannot account for where these monies are coming from, it means at a certain level, people become beholden to funders or to whatever their sources of these funds are. And it means that just like we saw with the DCE elections recently, where there were open reports in the papers of monies that were paid to go to the primaries last year when people who didn't have any track record of being businessmen or being wealthy people all of a sudden serve in government for 2 years and they can lay out huge sums of money to win primaries. The end result of this is that this is an acknowledgement that we have, to put it more delicately, monetize our party election processes, or to put it bluntly, corrupted it. And respectfully, corrupt party processes beget corrupt government. So when we talk about protecting the public purse and bringing accountability and probity to the public space. These are the kinds of things that make it difficult for us to do that. And if we care about our country and our party, we need to spend a long time thinking about how to minimize this.
Arthur Kobina Kennedy, MD, there was for your comments this afternoon.
Merry Christmas and a happy 2022 to all of you.
There was papa. Right. Arthur Kobina Kennedy, MD, and Oten, no. Na Sabri, we see there. It's me off as a baby soon. Na, minimum say, enka, and neno, minimuno, bit me at was. The minimum to us in ye. Me off as a major was Ajama. One in each name one. On once never at was. Assign at the Amai.
Neat FM Neo. Wootie or ha actually punk no. Neat FM. Neat FM Neo.
Kukrudu. It is very important to remind ourselves that our party, the Dankwa Dombo Buzia tradition, was built on the patriotism, strategic thinking, actions, dedication, sacrifices, and accomplishments of such great political icons of our tradition and our party, such as Dr. J.B. Dankwa, Chief S.D. Dombo, Bafo Osei Akoto, Edward Akufo-Addo, William Oforiatta, Alhaji Yakubu Tali the Tolona, Obechebi Lamte, Professor K. Buzia, Dato Khalil, Nabaifa Kabo, Alhaji Aliu Mahama, C.K. Tedam, S.G. Anto, Albert Edubwahi, R.R. Aponsa, J.B. Naroji, J.H. Mensa, J.A. Kufuor, and of course, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Thank you for watching. Okunkunim kofa ejina ne so akwara paadi kokwe hu ededa mana ekire no ne adehyiamra kroma dansidifo mehwe kasemu kira awawade esumu apai mo hire nyakwa pie awawasem nie we die bi si pen Neat FM yamamwa kwaba
Jama kwa be de ba eye neat 100.9 said me wafa ma onya ne tie no me gina mo assign ato aso ne de me menti dwumadie ne de abrɛ e wo neat 100.9 so enkomodie na watwe mu ne said on over the weekend no MPP wo mo annual delegate conference said ya e call so enoma hodo a epie mo ba ye wo mo mraba tan no sakraya wo mo ahwe proposed amendments name egu mpanyufo ne ma yero afenomakins edi enimu se won betwe na won matuma ye won hyehye na won mahum nia esese won mutimi esakramde mu baako na wo hwe eye de Nasara na ye bewuram de ayetete ye ne se eye Nasara no tese no mpanifo person mutirem na ekofom every police station bia no won benya eye Nasara coordinator ewo hode yenkwai na ye ne eye laku in fact ye ka womo a MPP Nasara womo no managina tintiman pa wuji ne din firi mu a enye ye nkane no na oye coordinator de ma eye Nasara wing no ewo MPP mo ye no eni nkomo efanfan laku ma ha laku teme ka me mo ha nyame adomoko na wo so
adum ye say azida de be ba twede ampo
yeda nyame ase na conference no so enoma echo sen ma
oh enoma echo yi ya wati mi waka mi tete obia nyame adum yes atra make it so obia na koni come out free by na fe kura na e ma ba aka.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. Good yo yen shey eye Nasara ɛwɔ ɛyɛ MPP mu the Nasara wing obetimi de yɛfam abakɔsɛm no mu botaye nti a Nasara wing yi ɛba ɛyɛ MPP mu
yo mi na wa ti bi na atia for na omo ti ɛda nyankopɔn ase sɛ ɛnɛ so wasade akyɛ yɛ bio mi na ma gyae rem sɛ bɛfa abakɔsɛm a 96 ɛkɔgyina abato a yɛ ɔmampanin dada fofoɔ adi yɛ kan ɛkɔto abato a yɛ lusu aba no research a yɛyɛyɛ no ɛhu sɛ zongo from Ghana ana no yɛ ɔmo ntanto aba mma yɛn yɛ lusu zongo yɛn ɛna ma yɛ lusu wɔ zongo ɛsɛ sɛ yɛn nuanom yɛ anom a na ɔmo apɔlo to zongo fɔ no sɛ MPP party no ɛyɛ buzi adankwa no mu busafoɔ no no ɔmo nananom no nti saa alias ase ɔda sɛ monkɔ mo kurom no ɛyɛ ɔmo busuafoɔ no nti zongofoɔ no nso ɛyɛ sɛ ɛnɛ sɛ saa deɛ a ɛnyɛ adeɛ ɔmbɛto aba no ama na sɛ wohwɛ saa tam no a ayɛ sɛ ɛnɛ a yɛyɛ national identification card ɛno no ɛna ɛkɔfa baeɛ o ɛna opposition di fa mu na yɛ kɔyɛ kurom back nti mpanyinfoɔ trante obi kyɛ bi lamte ni a yɛte bu afo ɛsɛ party mpanyinfoɔ ne ɔma mpanyin pupɔ ɛtena ase ehu sɛ ɛna ɛsɛ ɛtumi keti bi a ɛbɛtumi aboa zongo ayɛ sɛ ne nneɛma atɛ zongofoɔ ɔmo aho sɛ MPP party no rada yɛpɛ zongofoɔ ɛnti zongofoɔ ɛni zongofoɔ ɛna ɛtiti party no nti ɛtena ase hu yɛ no ɛsɛ ɛyɛ pilot ɛna mpanyinfoɔ tuntun sɛ yɛmfɛ miami papa yankopɔn fa ne kɛɛ sɛ yie alagye oseni mɛga ɛna ɛkɔfɛ no na ɔne mbɛdi anim ɛne me papa baako nso sɛ wate ni a ɛfɛ na alagye sanko maharaja ɔno nso yankopɔn ɛfa ne kɛɛ sɛ yie ɛkyerɛ funding fathers no nti yɛboaboa yɛn ho 98 no mu no ɛna yɛtumi ɛyɛ pilot in the whole country because yɛka zongo a zongo ɛyɛ nkɔfoɔ a ɔmo ɛyɛ wu wɔn wɔ zongo sɛ obi a ɔyɛ zamamani otonkonini ambani sɛsɛ fulani kuma saa nkɔfoɔ no na ɛfɛ ɔmo zongo ɛnyɛ the indigenous muslim ɛsi zongo a sɛ ɔkɔ zongo a zongo yi bi na ɛsupa ɛwɔ zongo mu ɔ sɛ dagombani o sɛ frafani o ɛyɛ zongo ni ɛyɛ ɔhene ɛna mi tadeɛ no ɔmo ti aseɛ paa sɛ a sɛ sɛ ɛyɛ nukɔ sɛ sɛba no ɔmbɛyɛ mo nkɔ deɛ a ɛsɛ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ wei ɛbɛka ho bi ama ɔmo akɔ ɛyɛ nnuanom wɔ mu deɛ ɛne ɛyɛ ntena se ɔmo adaadaeɛ nti nukɔ ɛbaa baag yɛde report baeɛ no yɛn mpanimfoɔ atam na owura akwasiga ɔno nso na mefa ne kɛɛ sɛ yɛ na ɛyɛ national organizer yɛ organize yɛn ho ɛma yɛpupɔ mpanimfoɔ nyinaa ɛbɛsoro yɛn as office na saa tam no na meyɛ national youth organizer for Nasara the founding member nti ɛhɔ ɛna ɛde Nasara no ɛbaa mu na menkyɛ deɛ wokɔ checking statistics 2000 election yɛde win power 2001 no whole country zongo no kutuma yɛ massive ɛna yɛtumi ɛbaa abaa mu nti ɛhɔ ɛkɔ no na ɛyɛ Nasara club ɛna ɛsɔ mu kakra na sɛ wokɔhwɛ 2008 election yɛyɛ no na yɛansɔ Nasara ase yie sɛ ma Nasara no baa fam kakra yɛ mpawa Nasara so na ɛnyɛ adwuma nti vote na ɛluzu 2008 no ɛna yɛtwerɛ petition ma mpanimfoɔ for amendment sɛ ka yɛde Nasara ɛsɛ constitution mu ɛyɛ no gunga a adwuma Nasara bɛyɛ no ɛbɛtumi ati saa vote ɛde aba abɛka ho nti nyamenkya deɛ yɛkɔɔ trɛfɛ no amendment no mpanimfoɔ agyi to ɛma Nasara bɛyɛ one of the wings of the party a saa time no mpanimfoɔ no wɔ hɔ but mpanimfoɔ tete mayɛ adwuma no atɛnim nti medi anim na menkɔ the amendment no ɛyɛ first one a yɛbɛyɛ no Ashanti region a yɛto aba maa yɛn a obi chebi lampe ebedi ye ni se John be general secretary Miss Akulaku amika ho e first national national coordinator or MPP party no biti ora kodo na ohwa adwuma ye that time no America no ye aba constitution ye am die no ye hu ye adwuma ye ema be do say 2012 election wa mo hu ne si o man bi ye wo opposition adwuma dia ye ye copy wo court ye copy wo court no kika ye na no na o mampani a o titu say ya ka wo court no no mo nya adwi ase asudie be bo mami adama na aka so hwe adwuma ye no eno ele di abedu be di abedu enai na sala edasuwo MPP national executive eko constituency that amendment ye no ele di abedu guy.
Okay. Na ye bisa se so when we share amendments are party mpanyufo proposed amendments are womode egu apono so bedwakui ba be hwe no ma ye ho adwuma no Nasara e kan ho bi se womo electrical Nasara no aba form so far eto sen
media so bisania ye tro ade no ye won conference as a consult wo amemi dia bi ma pin dia ami fi say ewu hia because Nasara no the potaya e di peti Nasara no empany form pese ye be ni yesi ye bi dia keke e kamen ku dia ewu hia lo mi ye ka se Nasara enye constituency be bi kwa na wo zongo constituency bi wo zongo ko ko a wo zongo lu kwa fa na wa ko police station zongo li be na okonya no e ko fi da kwa na okofa na be Nasara coordinator na kwa bi ya ati ase it me there that dey no mu ya na me no mu nya afi ye focusu our constituency mu ye empower Nasara no na butaye na ye ka se zongo ye zongo ye indigenous anie bi Nasara ebi ye zongo ni protocol outside ni alini ni enye obi office emu ebi abutaye na di form zongo Nasara no it is also good sending Nasara no then go down to police station constituency say uko campaign even akofo constituency plano zongo ni e baako enu so beko ekemofo no ebre ye tuba for it is police station be na beko say zongo ni obenya it is also zongo ni all over the country constituency be o zongo ni o aya tumi anyo bi oye Nasara coordinator at the friend of fire. What in America?
Okay.
Iti enu mo die ebe se party ni betie dia na ka ye mbongu e meti ni Nasara na empower Nasara ni ye na tu adwuma no ye o zongo community
Na woni butaye nti ya bi enam so ma yes proposal be ye part of the various proposals eda ekwan mu a won be hwe so mo de besesa MPP constitution no ebi abutaye bi nti na nipa bi so proposals ana
amina butaye nipa no edi proposal ye no ebi omu na omu ni na ya omu ni esa mina Jerry adum na esa se party ni because it's a baby party ni no engineer obi bi obeta the party ni ya no wa because the penny for mu die ni se omu di party no e ba election no omu anya ni ye Bekania ye aduma na ye opposition no I have to just 159 seats and the seat na koka 137 ya that wa o da again aduma na why it is no emwa party no because the band is another Nasara butaya e die Nasara no then no na ye they are two butaya na actually because the American would have one kasa so munya mo investigation wo constituency as I said zongo for 10 and no police station and I left her in it even constituency do crowd concentrate there constituency do zongo ni o before one and Nasara country who part the investigation the 3% to the 1,000 country I zongo program America they say ko ya na say bye if you move there the say but I had a building as a week, yes, I'll come back. Yes, 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 I say, baby, and then Janya, people in the Peru, maybe a person who is and a denominator. Almost three parts, no. You are so three parts, no. I'll cut out there with Albert Rock, the Abba, put from Famba. Because they don't have that. At the end of the day,
okay. Iti eno no wo ni say bia nei ye political dynamics no bra mo dwen ho se mo de eye Nasara Wink no ba be ka eye MPP ho na ba be hye mo mre mo no ene bia de toto ho a dynamics no asesa a ke ba form aka no betimi aboa
assistant kesiye ko check the juma me ye mi pa ba ko check juma ye e wo 202 cause mi ka hu bi e na ti Nasara no ye Nasara no mani ba e ye ka be he oh ye Nasara no e ba Nasara no e ye ka be he itomo mu fi e ho no a o me Nasara nda because omunyo omunye Nasara members omunye bi da omun ka ho omun nim ade a ye so bi ye Nasara no because I been hello musa apa musa musu be jine anu ne ta party ne ta ne heni oh yeah yenye ni better yenye ni ye se ne be ya ati manu be ba aba be fa dia na so ama yenye ade no ebibia na ya no because a good idea ye di ba no so aso ba so bebre but kitama e ko ye the 202 aduma ye kokko the free ono aduma party na ye esi ne afa compare oja de iti milia ye kanu kwe dia ye kanu kwe ye ko de ye ko so ni baba ko mi e omo adwi ye na collectively ambo ye na no bi a omo ye tini a onye so mbo yiri fimu ko pesa mama ni protocoli ni ambani anu na ye e dia twina dia no aba e ko olugu e so say MPP e party a e pe ke before ni so mbo it is okay MPP at the two the cover over a dubu ahino after they did it. It is over Satana. Pastor that they are fan now with free them. It is already the same for. But they can't stop to a different career. But in America, Obi free the bar or Kozongo. But we say no more. Obi free Maliba, don't go no better. It is a success. Extend the idea na. Then no more don't go to be captured or more. Then can say no ye Nasara no Fulani ni na o Zawamani o Mushini o say but they say no that idea no akaka kwa obi be pass o be contest the friend ya Musa no so be ba be contest na aja no trede no come it be say a penny for ya de ni ya ye ni ye na so be party no party no e see e be so e be cost so because ye ni ya e be boy na.
okay now so far mo conference ya say akasafo nyina including the president afutua odema eye delegates enemu MPP fo nyina fa ne titiriw eye elections akodo internal elections akodo a edamanim afutuo no megire se ko yie mam ne kan no
abem se ni kan no afutuo de obema afutuo atatafa enya penifo bi a ebe ko form akoka yesi kambomu empire no yen kambomu atafa 2 mo ebe starting from the polling station to constituency so yen na constituency na anyway we are we say so munka anu na se na party a eba party no ebe call be a do yi yomuka no de abonu aka or see the house as is divided by itself cannot stand. Oh, maybe what a project. The sun is also kept. A dividend, and a disadvantage super, and a nuclear, then can nuclear my home. Put himself as soon as you way or Tefata, and the public sale. Yes, but if you are. Long I buy a got 2020, this time I buy it now. No, that's too much trouble a lot. because you be more example. Yeah, akotia. The fact akotia any example. And then I'm back to the say here me sit out here akotia a friend amasi. Okotu baba tame, the mighty baba tame. When I after that transfer now pass to madame. Obey ye, or stand sit down, and a daddy. Or look what I didn't me in the name of the firmware of me too baba tame. It is a baby. Obi sama say and you can second contest in the family. But you see, on Tibrofo. You see, on Tibrofo. So I could at the 2 minutes a man party. As I said, about 2 party. 2 minutes at the man party forever. I could tell you to be able to live. But who would you see? Yeah, Madame for living brother Penny, lawyer Philip Addison. Or convert. You see, on TV. So on Capeto, on TPO, on TV, and then this qualify. If you share somewhere, you call your last name by. And then you are bro. Then Casa de Aya, you are bro. It is then what the people are here, you die, the fear of the party, then die Sadian. To be the way they do, in Peway, then two, then they say, and know that they have to do the day. And you have to have a couple, I can't go for both. It's immediately they have a captain for say, Patino, so far as also Patino, and you, the party, who's super strong. It's said, and I come from walking, I come here for 2 things. And everybody has a better to maintain to cross barrier 2024. But the Fiano, they are got to about. If you have a contest, and no super talk of fact, the Mamba, and penny farm managing time. How about penny or who the Asam or Lucy? It's in your bear, or bet your funnel, or bear. Oh, it's let's say a penny for. And that's what be a tenor of Casa. But the prepared me. If you any idea about personal, I can't be how more was the honor to those and the and you're a bit after Pepe. But maybe you're moving, we are sacrificing from that too. Let me see me come and be a fire. But then they will conform my bill of personal. Now, Osi Sani Pano, or the Ninji. And did that, and the Munana. Obian fellow be done was them. It's in our contest of the IM. Because I don't know about a cow. The you feel will be on top of you. And I go here. It's a come back to the classroom. Former people know about the deeper. Obi the yes man they do. It's a show what we have to manu for. The yare. Oh, young passport. Yeah, me regional coordinator Baku. Or yare bubu that them. I mean, conformity. The best practice of Thomas and non-fashion. And it is well, go. It's a woman find a better man. But the better consider the dark compost. I can say so. So depend on what we call you assume party. Come and walk the scene. Oh, it's very penny for. I will be painting a box to one of the city battle. I use that to change. And listen, I'm on conform the BSC over the mutation over Kenya. And the concept about that. Yeah, parties should have gone afford that for. Your party, MPP, can afford it that so. The party the best way Ghana ye. I'm an I am Kadehe. And then, I'm a penny. I could, oh, yeah, Juma. Obi at me, or yeah, Juma, or body, but it's safe follow and then follow it down. Put the share and say, 2020 essay. Or how I would have more my penny. I, the 169 feet. There were position at Coco. About power, so I saw Coco. That's the part, the party and vocation down for partner power. Wait, a baby.
Now, Southway woken. Are they known to Empenyufuya Wombe Kasaye preach unity? We can't somebody say aftermath of the conference, you know. And yes, I'm better than I said, I'm saying, of them for Musi from na Monkoka party the mum ɛwɔ fam hɔ they are working are they known to mpanyinfo a ɛyɛ ɔma sɛ deɛ
ɛno na metɛ sɛ wanom ne mpanyinfo yɛato aba yɛato no yɛwɔ constituency yɛwɔ region yɛwɔ national nti ɛta sɛ national phone ɛyɛ saa adwuma no ɔmo ɛyɛ ɔmo asɛdeɛ ɛnyɛ president anaasɛ vice president asɛdeɛ ɔmo no deɛ ɔmo nso ɔman ayɛ mpanyinfo na ɔmo ta party na ana emu na ɔmo nso party no ɛyɛ ɔmo asɛdeɛ sɛ ɔmo di ntabom ɛbɛba party no wɔnyɛ mi nipa wɔnka yɛn ho wɔnka yɛn ho ɛbɛyɛ dɛ na asomdue bɛba baako yɛ bɛba na yɛn da saa nneɛma no a there is no way sɛ yɛbɛtumi aka bom because wokɔ baabi a obi baako yɛ si wei ɔnyɛ yɛ nipa ɔnka yɛn ho ade party no ɔnka ho party no a yɛyɛ ɔna a woka na asɛ ɔnka party no nti ɛnneɛma nti ɛyɛ party nti media ɔbisa bi a media ma asɛm a meka yi sɛ mi wɔ hɔ bi sɛ wohwɛ obi kyɛ bi lanta demonstration na wode kɔfɛ a demonstration tia no peter ghana fɔ obi abɛka tɔ sɛ na ɛnonyam ɛwɔ obi kyɛ bi lanta ɛdwo a demonstration ɛso wɛ opposition tia ni wɔn nso ɔmo tumi yɛ adwuma kɔkɔɔ edi more seat na yɛwɔ power all this logistics a yɛkuta no hwɛ beebi a ɛnɛ ɔma yɛde biribi kɔ parliament kɔ a yɛbrɛ yɛsa president na mu yɛgu ne mu am na yàmi ka ne sɛ ɔmo ka ho sɛ pasa wo bɛ sum a ɛta sɛ ɔsum ne se na o pipi bi asɛ ɔbɛ so abi di adi a ka ho sɛ bibi a ɔyɛ fɛ no owu ekyɛ nso asɛmu da hɔ wopɔ bɛ bɔ sɛ yɛbi adi a wɔhyɛ wɔn sɛyi ɛna ɔsi yɛ no ɛyɛ ana nipa yi efi ɛyɛ ana nipa yi eti party no yɛwɔ nkɔfɔ ba sacrifice ɔwɔ party no mu yɛwɔ former MP who is bringing all of them on board. Former regional chairman, Omar Streetai, who is bringing them on board. Nobody.
It's in our church to say, Colin Sousu.
We need a leadership. And with this current leadership there, almost to be Buapat. Then that new leadership, almost to conform Eddie Cambo. Cambo Bupa, I'm telling you, sir, I'm going to be still Ghana. They do 2020 or 2021. The party in the Cambo, I'm telling you, across 20 years there were power there in Ghana.
Okay. Yo.
After my mechanic, then that person. A community of our form. Nipa feli papa on fa. Nipa person ni nipa kata kwa na oya hand time. So nipa na di usi ho. Nipa na tu obama ho. Asa na ho nso benya anya ho nya. Ho nya wan.
Okay. Lako ya dance na wie.
Yo misu bi damasi na minshira mo.
Nyakopo inshira wo so. Yo. Yana ya lako the first Nasara coordinator the man New Patriotic Party ne ne nkomo efa ye Nasara ne ho proposals aba se empanifo behwe na womo atoato adwen wo ho se won bedi atum se Nasara na ese kwa every polling station na ne de waka se eho hia because na ewo botaye bi nti a Nasara wing no eba eye party no emo eno ho komo ene ye dey still MPP Bomo conference. Na yenti ensabni bia your president. Nanado danko Akufo-Addo ready to ya.
From the national chairman, the polling station executives and ordinary members of the party, for your contribution to the great victory of our party a year ago, 2020. The victory which belongs to all of us. Decisive victory made it possible for 4 more years for Nana. I thank you very much indeed. Grateful. I want also to thank the NPP members of Parliament for their support for government, their support in constituting the government, and their support in passing important legislation of the government, including the appropriation budget last Friday. There's still one more to go, but I know they will navigate that one too. A lot of people are making a lot of noise that there's no majority party in Ghana. The standing orders of our parliament doesn't talk about majority party. It talks about majority grouping, majority group, and we are that majority group in parliament in Ghana. I don't want this to be a long talk. We've been here a long time. And everybody, including myself, we're hungry. So just 2 or 3 messages. We are going to go through the next 2 years internal elections in our party. From polling station, electoral area, constituency executives, regional executives, national executive, and then parliamentary candidates, as well as finally the presidential candidate. Let us remember one thing, that every step that we take from now to 2024 is going to be decisive for whether we win in 2024 or not. Let's remember that the Ghanaian people are looking at us today, and they'll be looking at us every step of the way until 2024. So the more discipline there is amongst us, the more unity there is amongst us, the better is our conduct, so is better our chances of 2024. Competition, we cannot avoid competition. Competition there will be. But let that competition help the party and not hinder the party, so that we can break the 8 in 2024. We're aware of the situation in the country. We're aware of the difficulties that our people are going through, largely inspired by the economic slowdown that came from the COVID. But we're not throwing our hands in despair. We're determined to come out of the situation. We have a program, the Ghana Cares or Bantapa program. We follow that program, we will be coming out of our present situation and bring greater prosperity, stronger economy, and progress to our country. That is what is on the table for us in Ghana. This government has spent more money on education, on health, on industry, agriculture, infrastructure, particularly our roads, than any government in the Fourth Republic. Let me repeat it. We have spent more money on improving the circumstances of our people in education, in health, in industry, in agriculture, in the digital economy than any government of the Fourth Republic. And I'm very proud that we've led the government that has brought this level of achievement to our country. So when you leave here, go with your shoulders and your head right in the sky. You belong to the party that produced the government that has been most diligent about supporting the welfare of the people of Ghana. No government in the Fourth Republic has our record of expenditures on social and economic transformation. So many of the programs that we brought We thought about them when we were in opposition. Free senior high school. One district, one factory. One village, one dam. The digital agenda. All of these programs that are our flagship programs, we thought about them in opposition so that when we came to government, we were ready to roll them out. That's why we've been able to do that. I want you to ask yourselves one question. What is the one policy that the National Democratic Congress and their leader, John Dramani Mahama, have thought about in these 5 years in opposition that they have brought to the people of Ghana? One. Somebody should give me one idea that has emerged from the National Democratic Congress in these 5 years that will bring about progress from Ghana. The answer is zero, zero, and zero. Not one single idea. So what all this means? All this means is that the 2024 election is for us to lose. It is for us to lose. We conduct ourselves well. We remain united. And we have a level playing field. That's my responsibility and the responsibility of the National Executive to ensure that we have a level playing field so that the party can make its choice of its leader and all the other executives. When that is done, and we come together, we unite. Because that's what I'm looking for. I want to be able, on the 7th of January 2025, to go to Black Star Square in Accra and hand over the baton of government to the next MPP presidential candidate. We want to break the eight, not just for ourselves, but for Ghana. Because we know the zigzag. MPP comes and cleans the Ogian stables only for them to be polluted. This is not the way progress will be brought to our country. We need a secure period in office to make that irreversible change in the fortunes of our nation. And we are capable of doing it. We will get a candidate that will unify our party, and by who will unify us, and all of us will campaign to make that candidate the next president of the Republic in Nigeria. I'm grateful to you for the cooperation you have given the leadership of the party about the various directives that have come about the paraphernalia for the internal competition. I'm very, very happy that I'm part of a party that has this high level of responsibility and high level of compliance with the wishes of the leadership. I'm also very happy about the way we have dealt with the amendments to our Constitution. All of these are indications that the MPP were getting ready. Osono on Namkwaso Oba gigim. Ede kwa ye kwa ako. Na ni titru me ba be wia. Ba be da Asante Mai and Asante Regional Party as a papa. When I first saw GM I was say Kroma. You know him. Say a quay. The coma. Aha and a da. Eti. When I'm watching exercise ampa or solo. We see Kromampa. We see Kromampa. But the air why? Yafa no konya fa go di bronya. Na memba mu nyina frisia pa. Is that 2021 ahead? 2022 is going to be better. 2023 is going to be even better. We're going to pull our country up and up and up and up. May God bless you all. Thank you. May God bless.
Jamu akwa ban de ba ya mema ichi jumedio so we need 100.9 ya bo remo na after common ya bo man panyin so na no disema or the two jam ewo eye NPP annual delegates conference no asinti wo so mayenye wadwe nkyere se de jumedio no e course nsema kodo a ya man panyin or the two ja ewo NPP annual delegates conference no as unity NDC a wo ni ene idea for the 5 years in opposition. Woman to me propose one idea according to the president. Or the sensible in the 030-2243-540 030-2243-540 030-2257-902 030-2257-902 Fallout from a MPP National Annual Delegates Conference. Echo so ewo kumaze ba joma hai
Meju so mark I say
nyame adom ko yeti o
ayami 1D1 de buni
okay
be che wa twise tia kana fu nyina tia se bin kodua mitiano salam mitiano papa nyame sam na be daga jaste emma annual delegate conference NPP koya wo basu jesu boni biala nka won ye da wa se papa ye nyame safe so de wa pass minia ni ampan fu ka ho bia no esasum na na dra ba kufado wa kasa papa ye that because I am the NDC leading by former president John Mama say okay of person be president NDC chani NPP di bebe bia no omo tenye enso mo mi to di papa bia mama emu ahiafo Kufo all the health insurance back. How much here we say enye? Kufo obeti jubilee house. How much jubilee house no? How much be enjoy? Kufo be oil, all the parliament. How much can say oil no aya jungo. Na na do that for Kufo adeba. Also the free education baba. How much say 419. Ye. Na na do that for Kufo ado. There there katamato katama also. So be Ghana card. Kufo ya want to ya NDC point from Metraso. Na na do to be Ghana card. NDC because what it say. Momo ko ya 419. So na na do for Aldo. O di that by be Ghana. Ghana be tumpu. You fu be na duma no. NDC so o to koku. 419. Me say Ghana for. NDC fu na be na na do for Kuparo. Say no mbu ma no. Me say Ghana for. O wa je ga ho. Omu ni munyansa omu kasa na nti aso no omu na omu hye taka na be kosi ene ehia bese MP ministers omu mbo adwuma mbo na na do dankwa kufuado ani na be bua na sai aya lanya o obi obaba bia no obi so dinkunu no aya wadwuma ya den tania aya crypto ani pradu anya line omu obua na na dankwa kufuado na 1 140 aya adwuma Branding for food and job, Abaya Juma, and in the Bebua, man, another drunk of Fufado, Kana Fubehu, on the Sabamo. But then I'm asked to say, on the one cover to Joto. Bye bye, Namisa, bye bye.
All right, thank you, my man. For next one, Beba. Hello. Okay, hello. Beba cho etio, yes sir.
Libya Mokori.
Yami adom.
Yami Sida Wati.
That's.
We plus 1, 2, 3 ultra modern saloon, the latest saloon in town. Senior journalist ADAKABRI, cold to be attending to Omega Kramiani. the weather no dia ma obia papo insura no pa na mentia Orange Niama MPP administrator oba national treasurer na mentia no obo no mo pa na me nua conference no yes the SSA ya no mo ye no na me dey say da bia me si nye boni bia o ye boni a ya ye nyina ne communication director ya bo abia Samoa so we numa president Etia Gufama ye bo dawra can this is for no second is now na why if you have bia Samoa in senior college for your back for 5 years in it was here one day and crowd did happen. And you know, dear Natasa, you met my boy and mine, my papa, why and what dance here. Mrs. Fourth Republic, President of Africa. I want to my year, do not say, Papa, President Akufo-Addo. Your conference, your conference, where ye. The NDC in the year conference here. Come to your scammer, all the media houses, Ama, Womoyi. As soon as time I went to this station, and no more. Why you Numa? Mama, you are mum, Nanny Fanguru, and so I am Tapa. President Kufu, I am Numa, and I'm saying to man, so we see a convey city and sa. I never know, me can't say the animal young say. I'll be a time I would take a say, ye call your name Kuano, and the moon of the airport, Nagana and man break 8 we are. Plan for a memory. Because this is what we are banning at the Numa. And if you ban over the Numa, then this is what I ban over the Diloma friend. In India, in the Saya no beer at the Papa, Nana Ablanco Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
I am on my Ghana. We are ready also, and yet, Duma.
But I say, my main fan next one, I will a homani so. Maybe I told my
Champion McCherry.
Get you, Nana.
Wawa Ponta, Nana Amwa Puna America. Mamintia, you are a jet, a income is not Chama, the Yobiano Piano. Mamintia, you are a Kano Damoa, and an honorable that is over, and you are a chat this year. You won't be a Boba said that my lovely party. Magjelly, the Bia Mekan, almost on my gun and why the mess the MPP paying for when your appointment. Oh, and another memo say, the best one. The veteran look 8 now. Say Allah, say about me, a year to my pa, about we bay, and then modern balls work, ministers in this is in bay, a what, and another go for them. I got a opinion for the power, and this one measured out about 2024. The best to be jealous, or be jealous of the past, another papa, and soon on my Ghana. We are here. Make sure that the very DC, and that's MC on, or mouth of the name to Panum, or when you're Omanya house of Paco, when you put a party now, when you see it, and then I'm going to go Swaba or Bacasam Park. When you're no crime, no prayer, and you trouble my empty pass out because you're at my pa. You know, for the Asha, 1 course, 1 dam, the doom said that a member of school from 2000 for no Mumia. I'm going to demonstration. You know, the mama said, "Oh no, you jump on your magic about commanding 1 year, Jumayana, and then other bikes. I'm a good year, Jumaya. Not enough to have a money from a swat. Not do so as I message allowance, another by Opia. I'll say it to what about we actually don't. They can't say my we are banning why you don't see it. You're going to do because every communication I will from open for you go for open and there was a conversation. How you can watch them. And the other say and pay for the information in Brabant. Negative media was about why ABCD and noon to the young boy abanaki dom the 2024.
Okay.
Before another shot, Marielle, tell me the answer to us. Oh, my Ghana, I better pay you. Can say my pie and everybody back on your side and now to tell them every new national president to people to go meet us. I buy that Japan because you may passport. One of them, and now to tell them.
Medan say, and what you are about. Maybe I told my high.
Yeah, my phone to say.
Namia do me too, Bema.
Yeah, friend, Mr. Talanta, she may pick up right.
Get you.
Yo, addition about Mammy saying Amisha. I mean, Ghana for MPP delegates. The next person, though, a month for Kojo. Why is for the cash? And why is the people? The saying Amisha, Alan Kojo Chairman, Tim, Bibia or Obia. And I mean, my boss, Honorable Abubakar Sadiq Boniface, the saying Amisha, the man. Now, addition about. Maybe Nora or Mampany Cassaye, now would you Sama or Mampany a no proper pen or Mampany time. A 50 former president Rollins, a deba former president Ajakumko for so, Eban, who his policy Ajakumko for, a papa de baya, which muta yes, a benefit on my muno and my money some faso, or the natural health insurance by. Or the free maternity care by, or the mass transport by, or the cocoa mass spraying by. Then your papa no a boa Ghana for Nana Adodan Kufado or Sia Ado Droga by. Oh, but also a free education. And Nasha Ghana Mabunu. Tabi a binimo Tidi Buoma or Mama Menamo Papa and Samuni Bino and no Omania free education far. A good policy, a benefit or minor. And when I hear Bushaminianum NDC for said, and a 50 former president Rollins Blesso, and they buy a papa at Ames village. Any a young papa John Dramani Mama, former president, or one policy behind what at your bar, or mobile trade, loot and share. And to make your master Ghana for that, yeah, Ghana put 20 Ghana and Kankwa, a MPP. Ghana be a MPP so until the next about to I for 2024 young come a month for you now kwajo align kwajo chairman thing.
Yeah, that's I know what you are with you about me about your man.
Yeah, boss, Pacha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Didn't they know what the act brother inside Kokumlemele?
No idea.
First of all, my Mendika and wishing all Macjari family for happy New Year ahead of us and any Merry Christmas.
However,
Mr. Say, if I couldn't win that, near boss, Honorable Charles Conria on top of the incoming MPP General Secretary or believing in the youth, or also believing in the grassroots. Only Nipa, what did they say? The Twabaman as General Secretary, all start them dictatorship and then Yamano and party anymore. I am sure says the MPP for Manakunya there, only the as General Secretary, we are breaking the eight as President and Vice President Bobby Eka and Nora FN say national conference with us boss.
Yo, what's so yeah that same? Maybe I told my would the any baby a casa free? Okay.
Mr. Yadanyamia for your Congress, I call you Yasum. Never play and penny for it. Tell more dimpa, no munya in Pampa. Never. In the fair line on no. The one you bound you so why you double Diano. The bomb passer or no member set, Nana, soon my young. Now, and to me, wed my dimfama MPP. 9 years to come in, my even 20 208 the enemy. Now, ya kwa ye NDC for Eduma Mawam, Madaspa.
Madam say, and also with the idea by Navy, I will need 100.9 03022 43540 03022 57902. My
yeah, I'm there.
Beba you too, Bema.
Now, to say,
Yamia Domoko.
Work as soon as the Maya phone. I'm a Samai, police station chairman. Through Cola. I was in another woman. From whom I didn't show up. It is Misra at the mouth. He just say, if I talk a true Pagu, he just class to the him out idea. Him allow us to be a no and I do 2 o'clock compact. Have my day Sunday, Mamma dear. The cow no bushia and no money in our papa.
Yeah, that's it.
Mamma call my son. The big kind. The Mitchell Yabuabia Sama papa. The view Biara. Yabuabia Sama, what you went with the Kaya port. A do my 1 year of communication. A book adjourned the so. One custom. I don't remember my opposite man. I was a so gun of 20 the Carlos or headquarters is with you. And I don't go to about quiet boy. I know Mom Kaka PP, executive from the national position. Yeah, I don't come as also. Yes, my papa and Fwado. I hear so many years. I know so Ghana for any home fast. Yeah, Sabata Sache. I can be school fair. You could not prefer up much. You don't cocoa. The discussion go to school fees. Yeah, can be your 2 months yato. And Kaza, I said that. Yet Namakola, yet Namanata, yet Namama Sama market. And then Yamia down room, then you could fraud. And then a man will papa, and then Mr. Saman 20. One woman in a job. It's a no other way. One young of 5 years, and then you know, 5 PP. I'm a woman, nothing new, nothing mistake. And then me say, maybe I pour a America say, me you. Now so PP, and who don't keep, who is so the other catching up, who is so beyond people, man, who never knew that I say. Now so people who don't keep, and now the man of free education. Some people buy it. So for the young folks, I still will put up again. But then, you know, you my finish the same initial amount. Every shapa, who did here? The 7 of power, what say, take me out for, and you will flow, or no, I never fast so extra more. Extra more. Amen.
Amen. The other one say, I know what the idea about. Maybe I my hand. Yes, sir. You too, Bema.
I've been from Anaman. Where the new program no was in America. I Kaswa Melino teachers quarters. I go 2 weeks. I 2.5 months. You indeed, the Australia say be our Becca or more minister.
Ghana water for what? But I say. Okay, I'll be back on my high.
Maybe you saw Magdalene at the time.
Women, I am doing you too.
Joe Asher.
Okay.
I have to before the album to about way go ye. About way. Me won't be poda. Magdalene, Patent Bita Bibu. The Pacho said, Bronica said, Ebia, I do a useless and Pacho, a fantica semi can say. Where they were Daruma.
I wouldn't even have baby Sammy.
Me Bisawi. Because your school class.
And take one cover dictionary, now share the word useless, as a child is saying.
Oh, dear, me, the American, me, that about way. Me, Sabita Fracha, yeah, the Samika, Meta, and near Twig, about way. Abaya, Ubaya, Bidia, Papa, Brofu, Crabo, Ebeka, 2016, you're better keep over. Obama or a Sikaba Macroma the dead. Mama Macroma, Christmas crap, I said the 8 to I said that. Yeah, who you have a mobile radio to us. What to have a commudimu? Moon come here, who's a commudimu now by night. President Nagasaka, Mukan, as a crowd dinner, Nagas or Manu Yadi. Muba, Mupesa Mubeka, Ma Bana, who knows what you have to do a year, and I'm Muba, and I may not you into Abanu Namipe. Open. I'm rather a mobile kind of prayer. Or madam, we are timid. Why you be a basta? Because while we are waiting, my granny partner, be a good way to ma. When you did Plaka, who call Nigeria need yet to ma. About it to me piano. Now, almost more and what's up for Mudio Macanejma. No man who calls you. But I need to be here to my near good Jumanu. May I say, more from Juma. No, be a band. I just sang a boy mine. Yet, a day of fear, Yaka say, who the Pia Bontigo say, and you will look at that. Or people, take the kete, I will stop them couldn't in a boya. That's about it to me, Jessica, at 10 o'clock. When Jessica got to top play, no, it's a level so. Muko, Marcia Mukoye, and for far Muba, Mamuko Fangate, or move out the set program. So I come with you.
Okay.
Buy a bibia, but must say bibia. Muba radio to somebody said to him, I want more to.
Madam say, you have 4 for free. Maybe I told my how do you go? My hello.
Hello.
Yet you, Body, and baby, I can free.
Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Well, near a sorry when you go Bukuru at the share.
Yo.
The kind, but never abaso. Every year, the Brunia, no, I'm not going. Hello, my Gary.
Kaza yetio.
The kind, the Brunia, now I'm a coin say. Yanka, you the kind, let's share your rakendamwa. I'm after say, Najumano, in Kratas, and no function in Zana, on to an Najumaso, up Namabo. Empty before so abaso, a yet medium could do a shanty redia. 7 prediata, Yantia in Carbonidiano. The better one. My Jerry, and here may be Yami 1 na Yana and Shada Yami 1. Yura, or Mampeni, better Mahama. Sir, 7 prediata, me there may come and say, Abo the other Mabura, and Yamia, Sabuak Kuan in Seshiasi kind of fano. I didn't tell Yami Tabu Sabri, or Mampeni, better Mahama. I couldn't yet be a who yes, yes, so just some oh my Ghana, when ya. The true baby, we had been also one year magician. And I said in traders, what am I Ghana, Mabunu Ajuma? And for doom so by, I will see your phones to do so. But here's something another Danko Kufuado. Upon situation, a real thing in our womb. Papa, yes, in critical, he said, Menka said Ghana, I ye dear, but me time is best. Now, situation I call move it. I had here by ye, near this affair. Konunanka na presu pa ya de ba ya. Dum so ni mpo se no tito papa so nanka na presu na. Ya de we ba ya. Se bi bredia sa. Aeroplane tu train ko bibia nko ma. Ka kwan be no be fa so de mestre Ghana for say. Yankopon aye bi mrebi. Omampani kufo ba be tu ni ma ye. Ghana for bi de. Ya huchire yo ni e kofa NDC ba ya kofa NDC be no. Omo do mine ko chire say. Now, the Ghana Crampo, President here in Ghana, in the message Ghana for say, is that another MPP are fine, that was when you know, and no mining in any home for so much MPP 4 penny 4. That in previous almost high end food soldiers, no MPP were buying more mining young for so. Uma Papa and Jumana Munya said, wait the president, let's play such in another. Our men, our chili, will be on the corners of our best Bagverano. Or your minister, only like men feeling them, or your CEO, only feeling them. Young farmer, or more position beyond by your own. I'm breaking the age, you know. Yet, I was my Gary. I'm not going to waste money, Krum, Bukuru, for you now, Shapa.
Medan say, and every yet I say, I was over the hour, dear, but maybe I tell me more.
So much, my Gary.
Yes, I would do anyway, be a case free.
I'm Mr. Kotaku Java.
Get you.
Jerry, Mukum Gomama from Gomawe. And now, the men of bottle are crown. No Gomama for you have to take a mobile mother. Jerry, that's so. MP4. Oma wanted to grab actually, only the yeah. So, we are a country focus now. That number is a Ochebina, Offender, Alantamasiba. Because and is Oma tell me to emotion and bail. The wound is a Alantamasiba. Especially Cobama from ADAKABRI. Never can go bar and jump. Among what about even is a power, Toba. But I can never, as much as almost as a entity campaign. A Zongo father. And you now want to hear that the book. What about when the majority were Tanta, Masamazu, Pantu, people for say, or some of the advantage only a book of Muya, and the two people to them. Oh, I be one of the one back up at Santa Barbara. About a new I think about a new of people. Ah, yes, it's a new young and now we are putting it and then it is. Obi worry na ekwem enja bakwasam na akwasam modern kabon baba tinya yeah tinya kanti wanye president order in the next entity me fancy no fancy for the ya the MPP be kwa umo eso no entity for mo gombo wa say most of the MPP five entity won ja no biaba obotu mo aye wa
okay. Maybe show me that same. I may find you the ho. Memo aha.
Like Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Ghana card now, you already said yes, same, no. How many sims? And I bet you the Ghana card now.
But you bet me they register 10 sims. One card 10.
Because my phone's 15, no.
But patron here 10. Phone 15 the other. 10 sims pen I'll bet me they register. Maybe I told me you Ghana card into material monshishane yes say 10 and I'll bet me they register why.
Waka matter.
That's my me find next one. Maybe I told my uncle phone 15 the other. Maha. Aye. Before 15, I'm the hijacker lines, sir. Now, me grand, I'm going to 2 grand. Well, phone going 15.
Yes, Yamupa, your president, young Fabi. Now, I'm only 450, so better than you after. I say, what shall I wear, sir?
Yeah, sure, that your grandpa, you nimumpo.
Well, I was on one kind of moon. 415, I don't my daddy, where you Minda was a Juma, Media,
That's it.
My daddy, what was that? Popo Bilibri, Yari, you have Popo Bilibri. What was I? Don't know.
Yeah, Monamoka.
And I can't be before. Make a baby, I say, Baby, I say, I didn't come. I am before the age, matter too much. Amuko, Amuko, Domama, no modern, I want to compare a mano. Domama to Dalmasi. I 2024, Domama, or coming back, why, how, and the young Yano. 450 for the dog. I advise. And my daddy, Anna, only on Macatama, no Munja for 3 cry.
Ayo, better say. Okay, I'm about to go match. Hello. Beba cho you too, Bema. Yo, Papa, it's you. I've been coming to you.
And Nazara group are working. The Manin Kaka. Dongo. For not aliens, or my Yagana for. And then Tranzongo. Our young cremo for. Kamasi Zongo have a time. Who they got to know? Because only a Roman for. Who could answer Neo? Who only a so for. That's so Zongo. Most for. Tuma 4, Tanga for Apa Volta, and I said Togo, Togoli for na Hadder for, and na Hausa for, Fulani for Amu Nigeria. Kozonga, Sample for in a ho. No Kozongo, we were Kamala. Yes, I stand for, and I say, I'm going for an ho. This all my free crew. And a whole and a Trazongo, a whole move area. Madame Master, they told me, you and before this will be to say, all right, they're my chain, but you're a party no more. Who have been in the route? Baumia of a 5 moment Baumia, 1951, who are MP, 2 GCC, El Neregu, 1954, who are founding member of Northern People's Party, for this secret them, Christian City, and I got for Eddie Dumbo, Yato Kalio, Abai Fakabo, Ike Adama. And lawyer J.A. Brahma, no other woman. Who was at Ramwa, Chamia Hoto, our or T and LM. The Bani Doctor also to Yakuto. And now, Cosia Jaco, we are founding member of Free Jamasa and LM. 1954, Ujina and LM, or no sables, Ulusi, the 6, on the other for Sako primaries, Ulusi, the Bani was Jaco. The Babaco, you see a jaco, the Babaco, the Matia Jaco, they say, you see a jaco, and a Ghana ambassador of Korea, and a Boache Jaco, Mokase, obey Minister for Energy, and TAB, and now, hey, Chileno, or now, no MP, I also go, we are about 200. Yes, MP before, who be a we need Emma Partino. Mr. Muba, Montu with the Opanasem, and Bibimano. Like I say, where they say, and yet, Muya,
Better say, Yera, Brobe, that's it. ha eye need 100 points na mema nti dwumadie esune ma han
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kotietio
Yeah, Manjari. Yeah, Medasi. My code is my power, Manjari. It's very different now. Manjari. MPP for Makakuja Kumasi. Moya conference. Sebo beka dia maye ache Ghana for no. Bako jara don mama dino eye muti paye. Don mama dino eye MPP mo headache. Now it will continue to be your headache. And say Duma mama here 4 years no. Woman another 100 years ought to be a book quarter. Share million Bema. Mama Babusha only 55 billion per. Yehu hospitals, Yehu schools are dying, Yehu universities, Yehu interchanges, Yehu whole airport, Yehu Kotoka Terminal 3, Yehu Kajetia market, Yehu Kumasa School Factory, Yehu Commander Sugar Factory, Yehu Atuabo Gas, Nanado, Sika, Abba the sector president, Bia, what I done the Congresso. Nanado, what Bobo sector president, Bia, what I done the Congresso. What was that 220 billion? Yeah, no, on the air. Mangana Libya, I have mistake. Now, MPP for that, and says, Canada, on the free SHS. Free SHS, Canada, I say, 7 billion. I don't put a oil, Sika. It is a 230 billion on the air day. And for me, I'm beside the Nado. Almost break it. I remember full when they break it. I don't think I got a fire who are Rucoso. But
that's it. Yeah, can I come as well, dear? Come on. My yes, sir, it's you.
So, I was down for the Kure Asa, Michael Suma, Adafo Bako.
You.
I'm only with my phone. Me didn't know class. I'm Casa Africa, so I bet the MP 2. I'm a chana and I'm you was Jari. Ma Dean Jibri, Alad Sharif, need to Nankopo Sham, honorable for some of Anna Joe, income deputy communication, Sama Yamishra. Open here. I'm Penina Nakufado. I don't know any entity for me. The Kumaso Moko, you know, a Mahama, and who Ejuma and Omoko ye. And also one Kasa, or my internal election, Omobeko, and what man Omoko ye. It's Omoko Kushia baby, Mama Mohammedia, the Pacho Mohunto Omana. Mahama, Ebe ye, Juma, and the Juma Suno, and net for Sumo, and my air go tabi, when you are sick, my dear Pierano, Modana Sumodaye. Don't the money Mahama Bob, business 66 billion. Obaka Swa, 66 billion, you benefit so many projects. A woman, I in your polyclinic, and if you want an MPP for Mabuno, and no one know Mudidi. Am I a terminal 2? And MPP Mabuno, and no one know Mudidi. Am I a court premises? Did you and you're non qua open here? May no say, am I assemble? Am I a library? And you're non qua acquire the brain or work as what the MP before you and me bomb or body, a bomb a basso, a bola, any symptom, any once now, my generator work as well, and no MP before you work as well, because from MP a tour and no moto, there must be development, make as well, any gun of when your home for son you will know yet. For no catastrophe, send MP before no yet. At the MPP Betty or Manso, Bibi Papa Biran war Matimedia Maya, Mob Bobisia will be mobida, as with me Yafi, Yimomo, and on the bet me develop or mine Ghana.
Okay.
Look at us, said Bisiana Major, Mofa Fixi Ghana, Namunya Chrono, and I am Wamo, will be to us.
Ayo, yeah, that's it. And oh dear. Beba Choma, Get you.
We didn't educate. No, if you're about to say, Equiapim, Yankupon, Chemi, Papa Paramintia Champion National Organizer, Joshua Miba Kamba, Namintia, Penny, a new down for bed, Yakin, Ramo, Drenimo, Nimudia. Manima, Yadishia, we na the animal who so. Mammy, my papa, is really so. A&M people who married his spa. Yes, if a couple of Bobo and I want Sanko Yili, he lives your yes, here. Yes, a couple of Bobo Shadow. I am all sent before the Binimus society. It is so bow. When we get your monster, who media phone, which here you pop way. Vote calculate here. O mampeni John Ejekum, o mampeni papa wait a minute in the swamp. Sorry, obey papa mampeni, obey your boy. Catch him people call it, you know. That's a do my mampeni for ye. O mampeni at a mess, you for the crane, o mampeni Mahama. Can woman didn't go nafa, can nothing, which your boy. Say papa for the bar 5 years in it. Papa, we more. People can hear you, we are saying you. Who may get ready for near activity? Or more a year, if I start or say, the middle of it, man, can move and tell me. Who are you spending money? Who can those education? Education, and I didn't where I will remove cat to move you don't want to. You know, cat no more tracking who are when you move from a tackle. Almost tackle of place of any competition be about. Yet you may you papa for the catch one who about taxi or back to tax 1 4 anyway. Our me say, oh no, who more tax one to one may get a handful you so much one may get. In answer, that's a sound. You know, mobile give you a warm by. Which is the kind of good and not water. I'm on you for which the bush here. I didn't go. One would the bush here, woman paying no one fan high and Guaru. You papa for this kind of no, the high play. Outside with your phone, go no move Guaru claim. Who could just kind of bar? You know, my dear, we in 20 hospital back. I have a for the city here. You move fire and so.
Okay, but I say, yeah, first and I'm fan next one. Our Hona Yena, yen sorry so. Bella Tomaha.
What you say?
Nyame adoba kobo ni ene baby akasef.
Ya muina.
Baba ton say from say.
But e ja wusu Accra New Town.
Yo.
No, ya ba na ya NDC ya akaka. Openi ni da e beda ya ya onu na no ya ko na dia na o de creation. Tabi e du ne kan. So on the 7th December we report a video which one. And now we do a video again. Because on the 7th December, a video a TV and America. One of my one was coming to a 7th Panel should be community and he passes a collab to 50 years. You be out for no, you can't. Mami baako kan sɛ even obi akora nti hɔ ɔbɛma ne afɔ ɔku ne ne hyia kɛkɛ ɛne yɛn bɛtumi nka obi ne ba ɔku ne kɛkɛ nipa nsina deɛ ne yɛ wɔn koraa na apala more than 50 years na ɔno ɔto aba ɔto to mu tuo rɔf na ɔkɔ minim sɛ abato ɔyɛ yɛ NDC ne MPP saa two parties wɔn nisa bro but wɔyɛ ɛnyɛ security ɛwɔ dan han ɛna ɛfɛ saa politicians on your cooking and Kenny Baba and Cow Bushy. Would have much really been cooking police? But what they are actually cook I trust right now will be not one in police and be one for you can take it. I didn't that one. Then at your man who are bound with you. I'm your cooking past 6 and then I will be the idea. Tell you, maybe I can't say, I was what I said, bloody lady to be no fair. I don't know about your money in this account. Me now on Crawford, I yell at any party move. I yell at any party, but move when you for me. Woman case, this no way time. We are seeing him for about. Say, Trumuna, your parliament, I am passing. He lives in Yabraham. He lives in the Pampo in Yabro. Kabuna ebo mani muni dia ye activity ada na mu ready sa issues ni mo na mu ja NDC ni MPP sa trumu ya ba e fa NDC o fa MPP.
Okay.
And that and as I used to know, nobody has this in MPP. I probably worry about what that does. You, the fundamentals are weak. You are saying to expose you. Have a problem or other way.
All right. Medan say ene ha ene yede afreni nyina yede AC we need 100.9. Yeba ba be sorry jumedi ene so. Okay, abusia ha ne yade dwumadi no nyina yade se me menti dwumadi so we need 100.9. Nyankopon ya domo a ye besan ye hye o chena o torchlight show. Na me so radio la Mike o de ye kofie dwumadi na de bro. Be de aseda be makojo dam ya to. Wo fa ADAKABRI na hye ase na se bibi nti e ma me ba beto aso. Na me de aseda de ama ye abena frima e na nana ya osafo. Omo na ye in charge of the social media handles ni nyina. Yankopon ya domo a ye besan hye ye mo bibi afisia po na watwi de e krombe busy wo go krom arato bo krombe busy pa me ba cho nya mishra baba you